Okay, so I guess we're all set. We're just a few minutes early, might as well start the show, so let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to my stream. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're all doing okay. I know that I am, thanks. So we're just starting a few seconds early because I can't wait to paint. So anyways, let's do what we always do. Go over to the computer, check out what we did yesterday, and then we'll start our day from there. So what did we do yesterday? Well, we started off by adding a little bit of yellow to our flames, and then we did these circles, which I call electromagnetic waves. So we did that on the green background, and then we added the background to our future planets. So that is basically what we did yesterday. So what are we going to do today? Well, today we're going to tackle several things, okay? Just because I am always stuck with the painting having to dry. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start on the background of our gray city right here. Then after that, I think I'm going to do the first coat of our little planets. First coat of orange. Then I'm going to come back and put the first coat of cerulean blue on our nuke guy. And then maybe before I do that, we'll see how this is going. I might continue on this place right there. So let's not waste any time. First thing I have to do is make some very dark gray, which is going to be the outline, and on top of that I'll put some black. So I'm going to just grab a palette right here. Hopefully that I can peel off this paint and get a clean palette to start off with. There we go. Okay, I can't peel that off. It's too bad because it's gray. It would have been a perfect way for me to start. Okay, I'm not going to waste time with this. I'll just grab another palette. I have plenty of these palettes right here. Here's another one. I could just use this one. Why not? See, what I'm trying to do is peel off on these caps the acrylic paint, because the acrylic paint is held together. The pigments are held together with a polymer emulsion, so it's nothing else than plastic. And since these are non-porous surfaces, it doesn't stick to it. So I can just peel it off, and what happens? I end up having a brand new clean palette to work with. So we got that done. I'm going to grab a little bit of white paint that I'm going to put on this palette, and of course I'm going to add some black right after that. So let's get the white paint together here. I do want like a dark gray, so there we go. I am going to add just a little bit more white. Probably don't need it, but who knows. So, got that together. Let me get this out of the way, and here's my black paint. First I got to clean off my knife because I don't want to get any white paint in my black, obviously. And let me grab a little bit of black paint. I am not going to need all that much, really. If I dose it the right way, it should be fine like that. So I'll put this aside once again. There we go. Got some black paint all over the goddamn place. God. Okay, so we got that together. Got my knife cleaned off for later. Very good. Always keep the materials nice and clean. There's my orange paint. I'll need that in a little bit. And I can might as well put this stuff away as well. Make some room here. This I do not need. Boom. Move all this out of the way again. There we go. Okay. Now that we're organized, we can get to work. What do I need now? The paintbrush. So I assume I'm going to be using this paintbrush. It's the one I usually use. I'll just put that to soak for a few minutes. And then I'll just blend in this black and white paint together. I'll do it probably on camera number 1, so I may as well get that all set up right here. So I'll bring this closer. I have a jar of water right here next to this fresh unprimed canvas. There we go. So let me just go back here. And there's my paintbrush. Okay, so let's blend this in together. So it's not very complicated. There's the black, there's the white, and we're just going to just get a little bit of white in there. I want it to be a nice dark gray, but I do want it to contrast with the black paint that I'll be putting in afterwards. So there we go. Let me blend this so it's nice and homogeneous. Yes, this is the bleak side of the painting, the aftermath of a war, and the ravage that it does to cities. There we go, nice dark gray. That is perfect. So let me bring the camera back up and over. I will actually even move it to the side so I'm not in front of the lens. It will distort a little bit the whole thing, but at least you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I am also going to grab my chair right here, because there's no way I'm going to get on my knees to paint. And I am going to step back for a second, make sure I see what I want to do. So yes, okay, so I am just going to start off right here and just reinforce this edge right in here with the dark gray. There we go. We just want it to be nice and chaotic. There we go. Very good. And then I'm going to do the same right in here as well. Just like that. Right there. And then maybe one more. Right in there, like that. Okay, so that is the first part of what I want to do. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to let that dry before I add the black to it. And what am I going to do in the meantime? I'll get to my little planets, my little bubbles here, and do the orange on top of those. It's going to need 2 coats, so if I'm lucky, I can get that first coat in today, and maybe even later on today. We'll see. So I got my orange paint here. I have an orange palette right here as well from doing my flames. So let me get this together right here. Okay. Now I'm going to have to work this with some water because it's fairly pasty and quite thick, and I want it to be, of course, I want to have total control over it when I lay it on the canvas. So I am going to have to work it with some water, dilute it, make it into some sort of a nice creamy texture that will spread on the canvas beautifully, if possible. So what's going on the technical level? Everything is going okay. Upload speed of 4,400 kilobits per second. That's very good. No drop frames. Excellent. So let's find out what paintbrush we're going to use for this. I want a paintbrush that I have control over. Yesterday I had a hard time. I had to switch brushes halfway through. I didn't quite have the right brush. Let's start off with this one. This should do it. And first of all, like I just mentioned, I'm going to work this with some water to get that nice consistency, nice texture of this paint to be able to paint with. Nice and thick right there. No matter how thick I put this orange paint, I always have to put 2 coats on. So I don't worry about it anymore. I know it's going to take 2 coats. So I do my best on the first coat. And then, of course, the second coat usually makes everything opaque and hides the brush strokes. There we go. Just going to add a little more water to this because it is still awfully thick. Even a lot more water. There we go. So all this is background stuff, right? We're still working on the background of our painting. On top of all this, there will be plants and stuff, whatnot. Eventually maybe a heart with a satellite, you know, depending on my mood. So this orange paint is starting to be just the right texture that I enjoy painting with. It looks pretty damn good right there. So let me just clean off my paintbrush so I don't have paint on the handle. It's kind of feels uncomfortable to paint with when you have like sticky hands full of paint. So let me get camera number 1 back here. We'll follow the progress of these little bubbles, little planets. I just got to remember to move the camera as I move along on these. Okay, these little planets. So let's go. Hopefully I have the right paintbrush. If not, I'll have to switch. Well, I have a lot of paint on this brush, too much actually. And I don't really have the control I want, so, or do I? Let's do one more and see how that comes. There we go. It smells like Peter, Alex.
Yeah, it's me. Oh, fine. Yeah, I'm going around you.
Ça va, Peter?
Ça va.
Après tout, tu t'incrustes dans tous mes films, c'est normal que tu t'incrustes dans mes streams.
Je suis parti du film.
Bien sûr.
Ouais, je te laisse aussi.
D'accord.
Il y a déjà là-haut, c'est bon?
Oui, il est là.
Je sais pas si tu as des têtes de mannequins là dans le coin.
Bah, toi, t'en avais pas un en bas?
Ouais, mais il n'y en avait pas d'autres.
Bah, Lydie, on avait peut-être quelques-uns, mais j'avoue que je les ai pas vus depuis longtemps, non?
Attends, j'allais voir en bas. Merci.
go. So where are we here? Let me just bring down these. This is a big one here. You know what? I'm going to zoom in. Hopefully the camera will not get blurry as it tends to do sometimes. This will give me some materials for my movie. Because every painting I do, I make a little movie, the making of that painting. So, and you can find that on my website, TheZenRebel.com, under videos. And I must have like 30 movies there. So let me move the camera over because I can feel I'm going to be standing in the way. There we go. Let's try that.
Bonne fin de journée.
Quoi, tu t'en vas?
Ouais, je me casse.
Bah t'es gonflé.
Bah, comme validé, c'est gonflé.
Putain, et mon rhum?
Il n'y en a pas déjà.
J'allais me remettre à boire.
Ah, si tu me dis ça, je descends, j'achète une bouteille.
Tu sais très bien que non. Hein. Oh punaise. Un serpent à sonnette. Serpent à sonnette.
Alors comme ça se couvre un peu, je vais aller chez Arif et s'il m'appelle, et s'il m'appelle pas, je vais monter le voir direct.
Ah ouais.
Voilà.
Bah il est tôt hein, quand même, je sais pas moi.
Il est 13h, 14h.
Oui, moi j'irai pas avant 5h, hein, s'il faut leur laisser la journée, non?
Ouais.
Je sais pas, mais...
Ah, un petit peu de pression, non? C'est pas bon? Non.
T'es sympa toi.
Voilà, à demain.
Oui, ça marche déjà, bonne soirée. N'oublie pas le match de la France ce soir.
C'est vrai.
Je t'appelle à la mi-temps.
Ouais.
Pour te réveiller. Okay, very good. There's another big fat one right there. Let's get this guy done. Beautiful. Wonderful. Marvelous. All right. So I'm just going to stick with these top ones first because after that, I'll grab my chair. I see no reason to break my back. There we go. Very good. And to get these last few ones, I am, like I said, going to just grab my chair and get comfortable. There we go. Very good. And we've got just these last two to do. And this last one right here. Very good. So, okay, very good, very good. Now what? Well, maybe I'll put the first coat of the light cerulean blue right there. So, I'll do that right now. So let me just grab a palette again, see if I can clean it off, just like before. It's not on very thick, so I don't think this is going to work this time. It doesn't matter. I'm going to leave it the way it is. It's going to be blue on top of blue, so that's no big deal. So what am I looking for here? I am looking for my cerulean blue, which must be this guy here. Yep. I'm going to put a little bit of him. I'm not going to need that much, really. I just have half a surface to do. So if I don't blow it when I add the white paint, it should be pretty easy. So let me get this out of the way. I was just looking at my paintbrushes, trying to figure out what brush I'm going to use. Maybe this one. So I'll just put him to soak right away. I'll grab the white paint. Get my knife out. I'm not sure the amount I need. I'm going to start off with this. If I need more, I'll add more. And I'll just put this in stages, like just put in half of the white first and then see what that does. And then if it's still too dark, I'll add a little more white. There we go. So I'm going to grab my chair again. I'm going to need him. There we go. And so let me get back to camera number 1 so we can blend this together here. Here, let me move you back over here. Bring you down. So I have my blue cerulean right here, the white right here. So I'm just going to grab half of it and mix it in right like that. And add some water. And blend all this so it's nice and homogeneous. See what we have, what kind of a baby blue we end up with. It looks pretty good. Maybe I could add just a little bit more white. There we go. Make it really nice and pastel light blue. Another bit of water. This will probably need 2 coats as well. Everything takes 2 coats. You know, I love my colors to be extraordinarily vibrant, electric if possible. So there we have it. The light blue right there. And that should do the trick. Anyways, it'll always change as I add the second coat. The second coat might be a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, who knows. So let's zoom this guy in so that I'm not in the way. Of course, it distorts everything, but I can't help it. So, grab my chair right here. I'm just going to step back for 1 second. Okay, very good. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to have a little sip of water right here because ooh, thank you very much. Cheers, everybody. So, what's cooking over here? Nothing. Everything is going very good. So all I gotta do, oh my God, I sound like Trump. Everything very good. What a scary thing going on in the States right now. Anyways, so let me get back here. I'll come back to camera number 1. Let's start the first coat of this. There we go. And let's get the second coat. Let's continue, I should say. Just like that. All right. I guess I could have used a bigger brush. Oh well. Should I switch? Absolutely not. Too lazy. No reason to. What I do need though is a drop of water. There we go. Of course I'm making a friggin' mess. Not that it matters because it's all going to be covered up in a few seconds from the second color of Cerulean Blue. Yes, this paintbrush is ridiculously small, but it doesn't matter. I don't need to be that close to the edge because there's going to be a black outline anyways, but for some reason I can't help myself. So let's just continue, do this. One last spoonful of sugar. There we go. Okay, phase 1 of our nuclear dude all done. Very good. You know what I should do is bring my fan over a little closer here. After all, it is kind of like summer, nice and warm, so I could have a fan, and that would dry my paint a little bit faster. So, Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this part here, and then we're going to be done for the day because I need everything to be dry so I can continue. So we'll see. Let me work on this. We'll see afterwards where we are at, if the fan helped dry everything. So. Okay, so what am I doing here? I don't know. I'm turning around, thinking. That's what I'm doing. I'm thinking. Yeah, that's it. I'm thinking. So here again, I'm going to just peel this paint off. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. So here you have the paint on this cap, and I'm just trying to grab the edge right here where the paint is a little thicker, and I'm just trying to pull back, as you can see, pull back on this, and as you see, it just peels right off. That is what this stuff is, polymer emulsion, made out of oil, from oil, and there you have it, just like that. Nice plastic, very flexible. Now you can see why I can roll my paintings and then unroll them and they don't crack. That is the good quality of polymer emulsion. So anyways, that is that. I will bring the camera back to where we are going to be painting, which is right in here. Zoom it in just a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to come back here. I'm going to use the black paint. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might as well use the cap to my jar of black paint rather than that palette that I just peeled off. No point of dirtying another palette when I already have the cap of black paint, which is black. So, anyways, let me just get some black paint here, because again, I'm going to want this nice and thick. And I want it to be, again, in such a fashion that I can have total control over my paint for when I put it on the canvas. So, like usual, cleaning off our knife. All right. Keep the materials nice and clean. I mean, it cracks me up every time I say that because everything is so relative, right? I mean, this is what I consider a clean knife. So, I mean, so it's lived another 30 years or so. But anyways, now you see what I mean by a clean knife. Everything is relative, I guess. So let me just work this black paint with a little bit of water. Not too much, because I do, even though I want this to go on the canvas and smoothly, I do want to keep its opacity to the maximum, right? So I'm just going to blend the water very quickly here. Add a little more water if I need it, which I do.
Yes, sorry, very important for your work. Yes, can you see?
Yes.
You can montrer.
Oh punaise, miam miam, miam miam miam. Ouh, j'adore. Oh, c'est trop bon. Merci. J'ai arrêté mon stream et fermé la porte quelques minutes. So, that was Pierre Alex, who is downstairs, has a studio downstairs, and he's cleaning out. He's moving. He's mostly in Senegal. That's where he lives nowadays, and he's just bringing me like little present, little going away present that he had. I guess, erotic drawings or something, erotic pictures. Lord knows. Anyways. So, where were we before we got all perturbed in the mind? We were making our black paint. So, let's work on this some more. Very good. I'm just going to add a little bit more water and make sure that it's all nicely blended in. I don't want it dripping on my canvas, that's for sure. So I am going to grab all the black I can find on this cap and make sure that it's all blended in beautifully with the black pigments. So that looks pretty damn good right there. Now, the other main question I'm asking myself is, do I have the right paintbrush? I have a vague feeling this paintbrush is a little too big. And I have its little brother right here, which is a size just a little bit smaller. And I'm debating if I shouldn't use this instead. Though I do want it to look like a chaotic scene as well. I'm going to start with the bigger brush. I'm going to soak the little baby brother, and if I have to switch, I will switch. So let me get my chair back in here. I'm going to start on the left-hand side, work my way to the lower right, like that. I'm sure I won't put my hand in the paint. And let's do this. Okay, so. So just like before, I'm going to start up here like this. That's right, I want it to be a little chaotic. I don't want it to be nice and clean, so it doesn't matter. There we go, just like that. The same for below here. Just like that. All right. Very good. And then here I'm just gonna again just add a little bit of chaos. Chaos, explosions, destruction, death, mayhem, all the horrors of war. All right, just like that. I'm going to do the same below here as well. And then I'm just going to add my little windows here. So apparently this brush is doing the job. No need for me to switch, which is good. Camera over a little bit like that as well. And then I can even zoom in, maybe just a whisker right in here as we are adding mayhem. And there we go. All right, so that looks like our city at war. I'm just going to put the excess paint back in the jar here. There we go. So, where are we at now? Can I put some black there? I guess I did, doesn't matter. So I guess we can move forward, huh? Let's continue. I guess I'm going to put the dark cerulean here, at least the first coat, and then we'll see where we're at. So let me just pull this baby back. There we go. And what am I going to need? I'm going to need a bigger brush. That's what we said earlier. A bigger paintbrush. Oh, there we go. It's a little bigger, not quite. We could have used something even bigger than that, but I don't have it. I do have bigger brushes, but they're not as soft. I like a soft haired brush for this. Though maybe this guy will do the trick. I don't know. I'll do like before. I'll put them to soak right away. And then I'll just grab a palette. And we have that clean one we did for the black and never used, so I'll use that. I'll grab my tube of cerulean paint. And I'm just going to use this exactly. Ciao, François, à bientôt. Hein?
La deuxième couche.
Qui s'achoise, on dirait du Davis là qui parle. Bah, bonne soirée, à demain. Oui, ah oui, merci François. Ciao, ciao. So I'm just going to add water to the cerulean blue. Work it in. I have a lot of water there. There we go. So that's pretty soft, all that. Looks like it's just right. Will I have enough there? Maybe I should make a little more. It'll avoid me stopping in halfway. There we go. So let's keep blending this together. Keep it nice and opaque as possible. I'll need 2 coats anyways, but still. And there's always that factor that when this paint dries, it has a tendency to get darker as well. So I always have to keep that kind of in mind. Though I don't think for this particular, what we're going to do now is that important. But anywho, so let's get that together. Camera number 1 is in place, so let's get to work. I'm just going to go to the edge first. There we go. You see, I can see already that it's going to need a second coat because I can see my paintbrush marks, but it doesn't matter. Let's just do what we have to do. There we go. There we go. There are a lot of details that go in there, but I do that with the second coat, not the first one, so. And then there's that black border that goes on the bottom anyways. So I don't have to be all that precise, which doesn't mean I have to be sloppy either. There we go. Okay, there's no need me continuing because there is all these paintbrush strokes will be hidden with the second coat. So there we have it so far. Well, this is so cool. Oh, I love summer because with the heat of summer, the fan, I can now, normally a month ago I would have had to wait till tomorrow to put the second coat of orange on these planets or bubbles, whatever you want to call it. But with this now, I can just love it. It means I can work faster, longer. That's so awesome. So I'm going to put the second coat of orange right away. And like that, it'll be done for tomorrow, and then I'll put the highlights and the shading on tomorrow. So, let me get back to my orange, pull that out. There we go. Whoa. What a mess I just made. There we go. Clean this knife. There we go, much better. Okay, so got that together. And just like before, I'm going to work all this yellow, or, okay, I'm losing it. I'm going to work this orange again just to get that nice texture. There we go. Let me just work this into a nice creamy paste. Ugh, that is thick. Thick as a brick. One more shot of water, and this should do it, right? That looks pretty good right there. So I am this time gonna completely rinse off my brush because it had so much paint on it. It would have been just sloppy, hard to work with. Okay, so let's do like we did earlier, tackle that upper left-hand corner. work around. I'm just going to make a wide shot of this like that. I don't have to worry about the camera, and I can just hurry with the second coat. Okay. Let me just get my brush ready. There we go. And I'll switch to camera number 1. And let's do this. The important side is the left-hand side and the center, because the right-hand side is going to be hidden with my shadowing. So that's why I'm concentrated more on the left-hand side, even if it doesn't completely cover the right-hand side. That second coat doesn't matter because it will be covered in red afterwards. Not to mention that there's going to be the leaves on top of this, the heart on top of this. Who knows what you'll see? Maybe you won't even see these guys anymore. So, am I already out of the shot here? Probably. Let me just do it like that. There we go. Very good. Excellent. I mean, I love painting fast as well. I think I came to maturity in my art when I was doing street posters. So quantity was more important than quality for many years. And then little by little, I start worrying about the quality and do less posters, get back to painting regular paintings on canvas. And now I just glue my posters once in a while for special occasions. Because it is a lot of work just for something very ephemeral. There we go. And there. Got this big guy right over here. Very good. Let's get back to this guy. All right, I'll grab my chair to do these lower ones. And then we'll basically be done for the day. I do have an appointment at 5:30 at 5:30 French time. That would be 11:30 in the US with a gallery, so I can't stay too long. There we go. nice. And this last one right here, I want to make sure I don't put my hands in the black paint. Very good. And I'm just going to add a little flame right there because I had put some black paint there, so it's a good way to cheat. And then tomorrow when I do the highlights of the red, I'll just add some red to that last little orange flame. So, there we have it. Let me step back for a second. Okay, very good, very good. Let me pull the cameras back. Get rid of the fan. And I'll pull the camera back here as well, just to give it a shot from back. There we go. So, let's check it out. So that's the view from camera number 2. And there's the view from camera number 1. And there you have it. So, very good. So that comes to the conclusion of today's painting. I hope you've enjoyed it all. I hope you'll join me tomorrow, Wednesday. I'll be here at 9 a.m. Eastern Time or 3 p.m. if you're in Europe, in France. So, very good, very good. So, let me just take one more look. So tomorrow we'll put the second coat on our nuclear guy. Second coat, or not the second coat, but the highlights to our planets. We'll do the borders in black so we can tackle the frame. And then we'll see from there. Anyways, so once again, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed today's session as much as I did. I hope as well you'll join me tomorrow. So I'm going to leave you like usual with 2 things. One is my schedule, very simple, 9 a.m. every morning, except on Thursdays where we do it on Facebook Live and I do my stream in French. But otherwise we're here every day on YouTube at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And the second thing I'm going to leave you with is simply by saying, ciao mes amis.